This is the rear section at the back of my Boxford lathe that I've owned for many years, and I've just started cleaning it for the first time, or I guess since probably I bought it. Originally I painted this with the current paint that's on it, and that was done I suppose about 35 years ago, and it really has got very grubby. If I move up here, you can see where the cleaning has stopped at this point here, where there's very thick oil stains, and the piece towards the end of the lathe here was much worse. It was really almost black in places, and I struggled to find anything that would dissolve away the oil stains until I chanced upon some stuff that my wife was using in the kitchen, which is called, surprisingly enough, the pink stuff, Miracle Cleaning Paste, and it's supposedly natural ingredients, environmentally non-toxic, non-hazardous, doesn't smell of anything, and all you do is you just sponge on, or use a cloth, or in my case I'm just using a bit of paper towel. It says don't use on hot or warm surfaces, and it's 5 to 15% of soap, and there must be a mild abrasive in it, but that aside, it works absolutely brilliantly. It's the only thing I've tried, all sorts of things like thinners, white spirit, turpentine, everything I could think of to try and get this off, and it just didn't touch it. But this stuff is just quite amazing. I don't normally do these sorts of promotions, and I'm not promoting this on behalf of anybody. It just happens to be something that my wife had suggested from the kitchen, so I'll just rub a bit on here so you can see how that comes off. I'm sure you've got equipment in your workshops that is oil stained. I mean, that's just astonishing, and that's the underside, and you can see it's got a slight grey tinge to it. It's obviously taken a tiny bit of the paint surface off the top, but very little, so just clean that completely off, and there it is, back to paint colour. And all I did was to just put a little bit on here, like that. So that's removing many years of oil stains, and I'm just, as I say, amazed. I'll just put a bit more light on it so you can see it a little bit more clearly. Whether that helps or not, probably not. But it is absolutely totally clean. So I'm going to carry on with this and work away and make the whole thing come to life again. The equipment, the lathe itself, is still in quite good nick, so I use it every day without fail, and it just got a bit shabby looking, so I have a chance to give it a good clean. Yep, I'm well pleased with this. This is good stuff. The great thing is that this doesn't have any smell to it, and it's obviously not full of chemicals. How it works, I've no idea, but it does work. That gives a pretty fair idea now, as you can see how it's bringing the colour up. Oh, so I've missed a little bit at the back there. So I'm going to end up with something that looks very smart with not an awful lot of effort. I think that probably only take me about 2 or 3 hours just to clean everything on the top here and make it look much more presentable. Yeah, very good. Now I've finished doing all the cleaning up, so it's basically just a spring clean. I haven't really done anything much in the way of painting, although there were a couple of parts that were very heavily pitted and lost their paint completely, so I've touched those up. I happen to have some of the original paint left, but all told the results are much better than I expected. Thank goodness I've got rid of all those horrible stains, and some of it comes up almost looking like I'd only just painted it, so I'm well pleased with that. I always feel slightly embarrassed when I show people the workshop and it just looks so tatty. So this now looks as if it belongs here. So that's the end of my spring clean. The only thing is, be careful not to get it on the machine ways, because it is slightly abrasive and would need to be completely cleaned off thoroughly. But clearly I haven't got any on mine. I've just been very careful not to go too overboard with it. But you can see I haven't got absolutely every last crevice out and clean, but it's certainly clean enough for me to feel happy with that. Unfortunately, the paint that I had was still usable after all these years, and it definitely made a difference where I've just touched it up. So that's the end of that. Now I can carry on using it.